Hey guys, Michael here, and I remembered that I gave up counting weeks a really long time ago. How are you guys this week? I totally didn't forget to put out a video for the past 2 weeks. Not at all, that's not a thing that happened. Don't kill me. But anyway, before I got to the meat and potatoes and sardines of today's video, I wanted to take a moment to do what I do best, and that is self-advertising!
Super fun self-advertising times!
2 quick things I really wanted to self-advertise. 1, the Broken Cultimates. If you do not know what the Broken Cultimates is, it's a group I have with consisting of me and about 9 other Instagram accounts, and we do parody music videos, and they're awesome, and I just finished filming up my debut video. But they've done a lot of cool stuff, including, if you ever saw Talk Nerdy, by Ashley at Starkid Ashley C. That was kind of their first thing, but now they're called the Broken Cultimates, and they're awesome, and I'm a part of it, and I just wanted to let it be known. So, there's a video playing right there, and you can click the link to go to their YouTube channel. Please check out all of their videos and subscribe. And they've got a lot of awesome videos coming soon, and I'm going to be in my first one, in a couple of days. So, that's the first thing I wanted to say. And the second thing I wanted to self-advertise was my personal YouTube channel. I don't use it that much, but I'm going to start using it and making, videos kind of like I do on here, TwistedAmigos, on my personal YouTube channel, which is Captain Jafar. So you can click right there, reverse camera screwing me up, right there on the profile picture of the account. Go subscribe, and I'll be making a lot of awesome videos soon, I promise. And with that out of the way, let's get to the meat and potatoes, sardines, and green beans of this video. So, I invented a tag video thing, which I'm calling the Starkid Tag, because Starkid needs to invade everything, because Starkid is totally awesome. So, without further ado, I'm going to start answering the questions of the Starkid Tag. The story of how I found Starkid is kind of cool if you want to look at it that way. I've been a Starkid fan for about a little over a year, and I'm obviously a Starkid fan because my camera is reversed. Starkid takes Manhattan poster. So, I found Starkid through this site called My Life is Magical, where people would write things kind of Harry Potter related that happened to them. And it was a really old site, and it hadn't been updated in a super long time, but a lot of the posts I saw, they were talking about, to give you a feel how old it is, going to the premiere of Deathly Hallows Part 2, and breaking out into going back to Hogwarts, Granger Danger, Voldemort is going down. I had no clue what any of this was, and the most recent post on the website, and still to this day, is that someone was walking down the hallway of their school, and they saw someone wearing a Starkid hoodie, and they just kind of high-fived them. So I didn't know what Starkid is, so I decided to look it up. And naturally, the first thing I came upon was AVPM. So I watched about the first act of it, and I did not like it. I thought it was boring, and I was at a point, I'm obviously not now, so if you know me, you know how much I freaking swear, that I was slightly uncomfortable with swearing and all the inappropriate content that is in AVPM. Just the stuff that isn't censored. Don't even get me started on the stuff that was censored or cut. But, so I didn't like it. Flash forward about a year or 2, and I was in a production of Aladdin Jr., and I played Jafar. And, we were all sitting around having lunch one day after a rehearsal, and someone said something about Twisted, and I don't know Wicked is how I'm gonna start this, so I just said Twisted. Does that have something to do with Wicked? Why do I think it has something to do with Wicked? And someone said, yeah, it's sort of a parody of Wicked. It's an Aladdin parody musical from the point of view of Jafar, and I'm like, oh man, cool, I want to read it or listen to the soundtrack, and they're like, well, it's gonna be on YouTube, Starkid did it. So I just kind of went, Starkid, didn't they do a Harry Potter musical? Which they did. But I never really pursued, I'm rubbing my eyebrows, I never really pursued finding Starkid, or Twisted even. So one day, I was just kind of texting my friend, because I was extremely bored, and I knew about Super Mega Foxy Awesome Hot. Like, I remembered from watching it. So we were talking about Once Upon a Time, which I used to be really into, but it kind of went downhill, in my opinion. So, I decided to randomly reference Super Mega Foxy Awesome Hot, and just bring it up in conversation. She's like, whoa, you like Starkid? And I'm like, no, I just know Super Mega Foxy Awesome Hot. So she said to me, Michael, stop what you're doing, watch Starkid right now. I had nothing better to do, so I did. And I've been obsessed ever since. I've gotten a few of my friends, I think, into it too. I actually got one of my friends into Starkid just by watching MAMD, which is interesting. That's one way to do it. My favorite female Star Kid is probably Lauren, just because I absolutely think her voice is beautiful. Jamie has an amazing voice too, but I just love the fact that Lauren's always playing a guy. It just amuses me, and I kind of like it. So, I don't know why, I just really like Lauren. But, you know, Jamie and Meredith and Rachel and also everyone. Stop me before I die. Favorite male Star Kid is probably Dylan, because I want to play every role he has ever played. With the exception of Dumbledore, because Dumbledore is kind of an role. In my opinion, though, he always has a great song to sing, always. But, you know, Pinscher and Tootsie, I want that combined role so bad. One day there will be a read-through where I can play Pinscher and Tootsie Noodles, and that read-through will happen in one sitting. Blech, I can't talk. Jafar, one of my dream roles. I just really love Dylan. I love his voice. I also love Joey because Joey in MAMD is also one of my dream roles. But yeah, that's Joey and Dylan. I'm gonna have duplicates for these favorites, aren't I? How does one go about choosing a favorite Starkid show? Oh, I made the questions. I'm yelling at myself. Past me, at least. Favorite Starkid show. I really like MAMD, Starship, and Twisted. Oh, and TTO was really good. But, Starship, Twisted, and MAMD. If I had to choose one, I'd probably say... I'd cut Twisted, but I can't decide between Starship or MAMD. Starship is just absolutely my favorite, and when I watched Starship through, like, the second or third time, I realized how much I loved Starkid just so much. And MAMD, because, really, I was in an MAMD read-through, with, from earlier, the Broken Cultimates. And that's how I met some of my really, you know, close and amazing friends, and my girlfriend. So, MAMD or Starship. But, you know, if I had to choose one, it's gonna be weird, but I'd probably choose MAMD. Favorite AVP show? Don't know why, but I'm going with Senior Year here, even though it's the one I know the least well out of all of them, and it's kind of my least favorite Starkid show. I love AVPSY, Harry Potter Senior Year. It's just, I love it, and I don't know why. But it's awesome. As much as I support Stop the Hate on Annie 2K15, I preferred TTO. Now, I'm not going to say Annie was a bad show because it was absolutely amazingly written. The jokes were funny. I've heard that people are, like, hating on the jokes. The jokes were hysterical. The script was very well written. I just didn't like the fact that the actors didn't sing, but that's probably something that I was just kind of weird. It was different, and I've watched it back a few more times, and I do really like it, and the songs are great. Talk Fine is great, but TTO, because, some of my favorite songs... Like, some of my favorite Starkid songs are from TTO. The opening number, Independence, the closing number. If you saw TTO, I'm just gonna say the closing number. By the way, Trail to Oregon, if I'm, like, if, like, no one knows what that is. I'm talking too fast as well. I think I had a lot of caffeine today, I'm not sure. What do I wish Starkid would parody? I wish they would parody Into the Woods. I wish they would parody Back to the Future. And, you know, for good measure, I wish they would parody Newsies! That angle hurts my voice. But, an Into the Woods parody would be really interesting. No, you know what? I don't even want an Into the Woods parody. I want a production of Into the Woods with Starkids. But, you know, a parody would be great, too. And Back to the Future. And Narnia. Can you do a Narnia parody musical? I mean, there's a Narnia musical, so I don't know if you could get away with doing a Narnia parody musical. So, Into the Woods. How does one favorite Starkid song? I'm gonna go through this by show. Favorite song from a Harry Potter musical, for me, is probably Going Back to Hogwarts. Favorite song from MAMD? Gotta be a tie between Ready to Go and Even Though, because even though, I'm slightly moving my camera. What was next? AVPS, I have to say Harry freaking Potter. Starship, kick it up a notch, though Beauty is, like, this close to being second. This close? God, this mirrored, camera thing is screwing me the hell over. HMB, I really like Holy Musical Batman, really like Rogues Are We. But probably Holy Musical Batman. AVPSY, Sidekick, and Always Dance, but Sidekick, probably. I'm gonna give you, like, 2 for each show, and then contradict myself. Twisted, Happy Ending, because hearing Happy Ending got me freaking pumped for Twisted. Though, I really did love I Steal Everything and More. When I first got the soundtrack, I loved I Steal Everything and I Steal Everything and More was my account name! That is not a song! I Steal Everything. I Steal Everything I really liked, but when listening through the soundtrack, I do really like Happy Ending much more. It's my favorite Twisted song. Annie is the opening number, frankly, because it's the only one I have. And TTO, tie between... No, I'm Lost Without You. I'm Lost Without You. That song, because that song is amazing and Jamie Lynn Beatty freaking deserves it. But, you know, in other words, I don't have a favorite Starkid song, I have favorite songs from each show. I should stop talking. Ship the Starkids. Okay, if you know me, if you know anything about me, you know that I freaking hate shipping real people if they're not in an actual relationship. That, like, actually bugs me. Like, I really want to do it, but I feel a moral obligation to not, considering I've been in really awkward situations with shipping. However, Meredith, they're really cute together, and I like them. And Tonosis is, like, Tonosis. They're awesome. And Tessa is officially a Starkid, so ha to anyone who thinks she isn't a Starkid. Starship Requiem. And I have one ship that is not actually official. But I can't resist Dylan and Meredith. I love seeing them on stage together. I guess they're kind of more of a bro TP, and I love seeing them, you know, doing scenes together, on stage together. I like seeing them playing love interests in shows. I wouldn't be happy if they got together in real life, but I love seeing them playing opposites in shows. I'll leave it at that. Favorite Starkid related project. This is the last question, if you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell because it's a video. God, my eyebrows hurt from raising them, which I cannot help freaking doing. But, favorite Starkid side project, so, you know, like, Joe Moses, One Man Shows This, Tessa Netting, Jim and the Povlos. I've got to say Jim and the Povlos on this one, because I don't know a lot of their music, but from what I know 3 of their songs. I know Holiday Club, Loved and Alive, and Holding You. Oh, and, CO2, and, Love Girl? Love Girl? Waking Girl? No, Waking Girl is Confluence, but, Love Girl is a Jim and the Povlos song. Jim and the Povlos, because Jim and the Povlos is amazing, and I should really listen to more Jim and the Povlos. I cannot stop saying Jim and the Povlos, Jim and the Povlos, Jim and the Povlos, Jim and the Povlos. And I want to tag, Ashley Clark, Ashley, at Starkid Ashley C, who's, technically the leader of the Broken Cultimates. I want to tag Elantra Dupree, you're welcome in advance, Eleanor. I want to tag Corey, I want to tag Sid, and I want to tag Molly. Now, Molly, even though you don't make YouTube videos, I figure if you want to do this, do it. Just realize there are like 5 Mollys. If your name is Molly, you're tagged to do the video. And anyone, if you want to do the video, just do it. Say that I started the tag, Michael of TwistedAmigos. So, that being said, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.